What is going on? Welcome back to the Underdog Investor audio experience. I just got off one of our accelerator mastermind calls, and it is an incredible container where investors in the UIG gather on Zoom and we talk strategies and we break down each other's portfolios. And it's just an amazing conversation that we have a couple times a week. And one of the investors said, "Hey, Colin, I have a question." I said, "Yeah, let's do it." And he said, "I'm looking to on ramp $30,000 in the next couple of months, and I want some advice." And I said, "Cool, let's dive in. What are your goals? What are you trying to do?" And he said, "Well, I want to make money." And I said, "Okay, great. Yes, absolutely. We want to make some money. How do we want to do that?" And I think that, and I broke down there's two ways that I believe that we can make money. The first one is price appreciation. That means we, purchase an asset. Let's use Ethereum or Bitcoin. Keep it simple. We purchase those assets. We wait patiently until prices appreciate, and then we sell them for a gain. That's how we can make money for sure. And so I just call that very simply just price appreciation. The second way that we can make money is through cash flow in a DeFi activity. And so a very common one that we like to use is a liquidity pool, where we buy assets, we put them inside of a liquidity pool into a DEX, a decentralized exchange. We allow users to use our capital to swap assets back and forth inside of that liquidity pool. And in doing so, we earn the fees that that liquidity pool generates. It's a way to participate in decentralized finance and benefit. And so, what I was talking with this member about is there's two different ways to make money, right? Through price appreciation and buy and holds. And then there is DeFi activities that we could participate in. And I said, which one kind of resonates with you more? And he said, well, to be honest with you, both. I want to do both. And I said, great. So there's the simple way to do this, or there's the little bit more complex way. And I am personally doing the little bit more complex way. So I'm going to try to cover both here in the next 3 minutes. The first way is that you can split the capital. It doesn't have to be in half, doesn't have to be 50-50. But let's just use that as the example, the benchmark here. So we can take half that capital, say 15 grand, and buy in dollar cost average into spot assets, right? We can just have a list of assets we want to hold for price appreciation, dollar cost average into them, meaning just, buy little bits at a time, and then just hold them and wait for price appreciation. And what I call single asset exposure, which is just you're holding Bitcoin and it's not paired with another asset in the liquidity pool. You just have single asset exposure of that asset. So that's one way that you can do it. And then the other half is taking the other half of your capital, deploying it into different DeFi activities and benefiting from the cash flow that those present. And so in a way, we can benefit from both price appreciation and through cash flow and DeFi activities. The thing that I wanted to mention to him was the DeFi activities it depends on what you're doing and what strategy you have for those, but usually that limits the upside potential. So really you're focused on cash flow generation where there's a limited amount of appreciation that you can get. And so what I suggested to him was, what if we could do both? What if we took those assets, those spot assets, then lent them on a DeFi platform, like a lending platform? Aave right now is the biggest, not a recommendation, just one to check out first to see how it operates. Lend those assets, use it as collateral, borrow against those assets, and then use the borrowed assets to then move into liquidity pools and other DeFi activities to generate cash flow. And I said, well, I try to show them that this is a little bit more complex, but this is a way that we can see both. We can have single asset exposure of the assets that we are lending, and that where we'll see full price appreciation on those assets there. And best of both worlds, we use them as collateral, use the borrowed assets into cash flow generating activities. And so, in a way, we can do both. We can have single asset exposure for appreciation, and we can generate cash flow at the same time, as opposed to just splitting it down the middle, using half for price appreciation, buy and holds, and the other half for liquidity pools. There is a way that we can get best of both worlds and combine this in a little bit more of a complex strategy. So I'm coming up to about 5 minutes now, but this is something that we talk about almost every single day inside the UIG and the accelerator program. And so although I try to encapsulate my entire, 15-minute conversation with this member in the less than 5 minutes, this is something that we can absolutely dive into with you. So if you haven't yet joined us in the UIG, make sure you do so. And if you're thinking about if you want more exposure to me and the rest of the team, we do have a couple of programs. The accelerator program, which is group coaching, I run that. And we also have the one-on-one program, which is called Fast Track. And there's a mastermind structure inside of that program as well. So lots of great opportunities to get exposure to us and have these conversations. And hopefully it's brought you some value today. And with that being said, we will catch you in the next episode.